What? Why Eisen?
Eisen.
I'm crying. Hey, it's Sue.
And Megan in the restricted section.
Today we're going to do a spoiler-free review of Beloved
by Toni Morrison.
Yes. And while we're doing that, we're going to drink this Midtown Hefe? We tried to find how to pronounce this, and we found mixed answers, so I'm not sure how to say it. I think it's short for Hefeweizen. But that's what it is. And it's from White River Brewing here in Springfield.
And we love us some White River.
And it's a German-style wheat beer.
Brewed with apricots, or apricots, depending on how you want to say it.
Apricots.
I say apricots too. That's pretty refreshing.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Not super fruity though, I don't think.
No.
But it's good. Alright, so this was both of ours first Toni Morrison, I believe.
It was, yeah.
Yes. And this is probably her most well-known book as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it is about a woman named, I believe it's pronounced Setha. And she escaped from slavery. Now she's being haunted.
Yes.
By her past.
Yes.
Sort of. That's sort of a rough...
by her...
a rough explanation of it.
By the decisions of her past, maybe, or something.
But more literally, it's by her deceased daughter.
Right.
Or is it?
Or is it, right. Who is called Beloved.
Yes. We buddy read this
with
we did. Tina over at like Tito in Spain.
We did.
So we'll link her channel down below. It was lovely reading this with her. She's a very just awesome,
super
awesome person. Yeah. She's so nice, and her channel is really awesome. She reads really interesting stuff, and she's really intelligent and has a lot of
good insights to share.
Good insight.
And she was super understanding when I failed horribly at this buddy read because I got sucked into a home improvement project.
This book is not an easy read.
No.
And it was slightly confusing at first.
Yeah, it was weird at first because it's just written in a style I wasn't familiar with.
Yeah, she has a very interesting writing style, but once you get kind of acclimated to it, it's much easier, and I think she wrote beautifully.
I agree, yeah.
I loved it. I marked several places, like the orange tabs were places where I just thought this is an especially beautiful sentence or description, and I have several of those throughout here. So gorgeous writing.
It's beautiful.
But it can be hard to follow. I didn't really have much trouble past the beginning because the beginning was a little confusing because you have so many characters, I think, introduced at first, and there's a character whose name is Baby.
Yeah.
And that confused me because I thought
they're also talking about a baby.
Yeah, because they're also talking about a baby, so I was like confused there for a minute of what was going on there. Yeah, the book is just beautiful and haunting and brutal. It's not for the faint of heart.
No.
There's some really disturbing things in here.
It's uncomfortable at times.
It makes you uncomfortable when you're reading it, especially I think as a white person.
Yeah.
I actually read, I was looking at reviews on Goodreads, which maybe I should just stop doing this because I feel like I always find stupid stuff when I look. But some person said that they gave it 1 star and hated it and said that the whole purpose of the book was to make white people feel guilty about being white. And I was like,
I don't think that's the whole point
I feel like you read this and you felt uncomfortable and you felt guilty and that made you decide you disliked it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Which I don't think that was the purpose of the book at all.
No, not at all.
But, I mean, it does kind of make you feel
it's
a little guilty and uncomfortable because even the white people in this book who were nice
were still like not.
We're still didn't think of black people as equals.
People. Yeah.
Whereas or as people.
Even the like good white people were
not
great. Yeah.
And that's a big theme throughout the book too, is that Black people were treated like animals.
Yeah.
Literally treated like animals. There's several places throughout the book where that is illustrated. So this book has like several different perspectives. You don't just get Setha's perspective. There's also Paul D, who is a man who she was a slave. They were both slaves on the same farm called Sweet Home. And then there's also Setha's daughter, Denver,
who is an interesting character, I think.
Yes. There's kind of some, I don't know if you'd maybe call this book magical realism. I'm not sure. There's some of that. There's some kind of supernatural elements, and Denver has something to do with those.
Yeah.
And then there's, of course, Beloved, who is maybe a ghost?
Maybe. And I think in some ways she was a representation of slavery itself.
I would definitely recommend this book, though. I gave it 5 stars because I just thought it was so beautiful. So beautifully written.
It was super beautiful, and it was just really like dark and haunting, and
yes, it's like I said, not for the faint of heart.
No.
Go into it prepared to read some disturbing stuff.
And read it, I would say read it slowly.
Yeah.
I liked that we kind of kept a slower pace with it. And even when I finished it up on my own, like, I took frequent breaks in the reading.
It's just really good.
It's excellent. Well, I guess that'll be it for our spoiler-free review. We're also going to do, like, a discussion video that will not be spoiler-free, so check that out if you've already read this, or if you don't care about spoilers, then check that video out.
And yeah, I definitely want to read some more Toni Morrison because I loved her writing.
Yep, brilliant. So, this beer.
I like it.
I do too.
It's not, like, my favorite or anything, but it's good.
Hey, it's just very, very delightful and refreshing.
It is, like, I can kind of taste the apricot, but it is, like, subtle. But it's good. I mean, White River is a really good brewery here in town. It's probably my favorite brewery that we have here.
Same.
So, I don't think I've had a beer from them that I didn't like. But that's it for us.
Yes.
There'll be links below where you can find us other places on the internet.
And if you're not already subscribed to the restricted section, you should do it.
And thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.